Hey guys, welcome back to the Rift Initiative, and today we're going to be talking about understanding love and loneliness. So, I'm sure you all know that love is very glamorized in our society. It's something that's so important, both, platonically, romantically, and familially. It's what makes our relationships, it's what makes our lives as social beings nice, good, fun, right? Without each other, it's kind of just dull. But a big misconception that the world kind of presents to you is that when you're single, when you're alone, when you are a child, when you are young, if you're not with somebody, your life sucks. And I don't agree, personally. I think that, loneliness is an experience that is based on one's understanding. It's someone's understanding of what's going on, how we feel, and it kind of based on where you're coming from in terms of your mindset, your feelings, your thoughts, those kind of things. And it can be intense, and it can also be really subtle for a lot of people. I remember when I was growing up, I had a really even now I kind of have this feeling like I love my family, I love the people around me, and if the thought of not being with them and being away from them, it hurts, it stings, right? And when I was younger, I used to have a fear of being alone, lonely and all that. I used to have a fear of feeling by myself. And as I got older, I kind of built up this understanding that being alone is only lonely when you don't have a relationship with yourself. And I know that I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean that in order to love someone else truly and fully, you have to have an understanding of what it means to be yourself, and you also have to have some kind of love towards yourself, right? You are a hardworking person. You have built yourself to the person who is watching this video right now. You are a product of your environment, the way your parents raised you, if you weren't raised, the guardians who are in your life, the way that you were raised, right? The way that you choose to be every single day. And I want to remind you that you choose to be the person you are, right? I'm not talking about race, physical, nothing physical. I'm talking about mentality. You choose to be the person that you are, right? Whether a healthy individual with no, mental illness or anything like that, any kind of complications, they are able to control the way that they think in most cases, right? And the reason I say that is because you're not lonely. I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you're by yourself. It's not the end of the world if you're not in a relationship. You shouldn't force those things into your life, because when you do, usually they end up falling out and you become so dependent on those things that you lose part of yourself, right? Relationships are not meant to be entertainment. They're not meant to just have for fun. They're things that are really valuable. And I think that the world and society makes it seem like you could just kind of just get in one and leave and get one. It's not. I don't think it should be so easy. I think that love is something so special that you can only truly experience it when you know its value, right? So even if things are not going the way that you think it's going, it doesn't mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that your life is ending. It doesn't mean that you have any reason to be unhappy in that regard, right? You have so much going for you. And even if you don't, you have so much that could go for you. You just gotta push yourself, right? It's not about finding that perfect person for you just yet. If that's one of your goals, happily, keep that. That's such a good goal, and it's something that I think everyone should aspire to have. But don't forget the small steps that are going to get you there, and understand that the more you work on yourself, the more that you build yourself, the more that you will align with the person that you want to be with and you need to be with, and it'll just be easier for you. It'll be easier, the relationship will be better, your love will last longer. And it's all about just, matching, being aware of the mistakes and the things that you need to work on. Whoa, voice is something weird there, but the things that you need to work on, and moving towards something greater, right? You're not set in stone. People say this a lot, I am who I am, I can't change. No, you are capable of changing whenever you feel like, honestly. You can change the way you think instantly. Well, not instantly, but as in you can decide to do so instantly, and you can just start if you really wanted to, right? But the whole idea is that love is not something that you need in terms of romantic love, right? Familial love, it's very important to understand what each thing brings to your life, right? You need to have some kind of love for yourself. You need to have the understanding that you are such an amazing person who has been put in this world to do something great, right? And it's up to you to do that. And I guarantee you, when you're on your journey to find that, to do what you were meant to do, you'll find that person who's meant to be with you. But for now, if you feel like it hasn't happened in a while, look in towards yourself. Don't be critical. Don't be negatively critical, but be constructive. See what you can work on. See what how you can make your life better, so that when the time comes, you can welcome someone in, right? And some people might say, isn't that like doing that for the other person? No, because the whole idea is setting yourself up for a good life. And if you want to work towards your goals and get to the places you want to be at, you gotta work hard. You gotta work hard, and you'll find that whatever you want comes to you. And the harder you work, the more things come to you that you deserve, that you work for, and therefore you will get. Right? So, sorry, my battery just had an indication. Don't be afraid of being alone, because you are more than enough for yourself. And understand that any person in your life who is there is an accessory. It's something that's so valuable. Right? Appreciate everyone in your life. Appreciate all the people who come and go, because they will teach you something. They will have some sort of value for you, and you will have value for them too. So when they come and when they go, when they're in your life, when you're with people, give them the best of you. Right? Show them the best of you. Show them good. Show them love. Show them care. Show them peace. Show them hope. Excuse me, I was about to sneeze. But I really can't push this enough. Like, being a good person, although it's kind of difficult in our climate, in our society, being a good person will take you farther than being a bad person ever will, in terms of happiness and self-fulfillment. Right? You think that success comes from being a bad person. No, there's plenty of good people out there who are successful. Right? It's all about, you got to pay attention to who's on media and why. Right? Nobody wants to see why a person who donated and built trees in a neighborhood became rich, because it's not interesting. It's not something to talk about, because it's not gossipy. There's nothing there that make people think is interesting, right? But it's all about perspective. So when you feel lonely, when you're in those moments where it's kind of dark and it's kind of iffy, remember that you are never alone. You have yourself. Right? You have the strong and caring person that you are. And if you don't feel like you're there for yourself, maybe take that as a hint that you need to work a little bit more on loving yourself and caring about yourself. And you don't have to do that alone. There's so many programs out there who are pushing to have support. There's things like Jack.org, there's some CMHA, there's the Kids Help Phone. Wherever you are in the world, I don't know if it's all there, but there's always something there for you, right? And I just think that it's when you fall in love with being by yourself, when you fall in love with appreciating yourself, most of the time you end up finding somebody in that time. And when you do, it'll be a great experience. And I hope that you all find that person, and I hope that you all find yourself too, because it'll make it all more worth the while. So worthwhile. Sorry. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something from that. I hope you took something from that. I hope that it helped. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.